Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to this video series on Windows Server 2012. Preparing for software deployment. Before you can install applications on client computers, you must make sure that the necessary files are available to end users. In many network environments, system administrators create shares on file servers that include the installation files for many applications based on security permissions. Either end users or system administrators can then connect to these shares from a client computer and install the needed software. The efficient organization of these shares can save the help desks from having to carry around a library of DVDs, and it allows you to install applications easily on many computers at once. Exercise 6.7 walks you through the process of creating a software distribution SharePoint. In this exercise, you will prepare the software deployment by creating a directory, share, and placing certain types of files in the directory. To complete the steps in this exercise, you must have access to the Microsoft Office 2010 or Microsoft Office 2013 installation files via a DVD or through a network share, and have 2000 MB of free disk space. For this exercise, I used Microsoft Office 2013 exercises. Exercise 6.7, creating a software deployment share 1. Using Windows Explorer, create a folder called software that you can use with application sharing. Be sure that the volume on which you create this folder has at least 2000 MB of available disk space. Create a folder called Office 2013 within the software folder. Copy all of the installation files for Microsoft Office 2013 from the DVD or network share containing the files to the Office 2013 Office 2013 folder you created in step 2. If you prefer, you can use switches to install all of the Office 2013 installation files. You can find these switches at http://library/ee/library/ee6243660.aspx. 4. Right-click the software folder created in step 1 and then select Share. In the Choose People on your network to share with dialog box, type everyone and then click the Add button. Next, click the Share button. When you see a message that the sharing process is complete, click Done. Once you have created an application distribution share, it's time to publish and assign the applications. This topic is covered next. Software restriction policies. One of the biggest problems that we face as IT managers is users downloading and installing software. Many software packages don't cause any issues and are completely safe. Unfortunately, many software packages do have viruses and can cause problems. This is where software restriction policies can help. Software restriction policies help to identify software and to control its ability to run on a local computer, organization, unit, domain, or site. Software restriction policies give administrators the ability to regulate unknown or untrusted software. Software restriction policies allow you to protect your computers from unwanted software by identifying and also specifying what software packages are allowed to be installed. When configuring software restriction policies, an administrator is able to define a default security level of unrestricted software is allowed or disallowed. Software is not allowed to run for a GPO. Administrators can make exceptions to this default security level. They can create software restriction policy rules for specific software. To create a software policy using the Group Policy Management Console, create a new GPO. In the GPO, expand the Windows settings, for either the user or computer configuration section. Expand security. Right-click Software Restriction Policy and choose New Software Restriction Policy. Set the policy for the level of security that you need using AppLocker. AppLocker is a feature in Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows Server 2012, and Windows Server 2012 or 2. It is the replacement for software restriction policies. AppLocker allows you to configure a denied list and an accepted list for applications. Applications that are configured on the denied list will not run on the system, whereas applications on the accepted list will operate properly. The new capabilities and extensions of the AppLocker feature help reduce administrative overhead and help administrators control how users can access and use files such as .exe files, scripts, Windows installer files, MSI and MSP files, and DLLs. Group policy slow link detection. When setting up GPOs, most of us assume that the connection speeds between servers and clients are going to be fast. In today's world, it is unlikely to see slow connections between locations, but they are still out there. Sometimes connection speeds cause issues with the deployment of GPOs, specifically ones that are deploying software. A setting in the computer and user section of the GPO called Group Policy Slow Link Detection defines a slow connection for the purposes of applying and updating GPOs if the data transfer rate for the domain controllers providing the GPO to the computer is slower than what you have specified in the setting. The connection is considered to be a slow connection. If a connection is considered slow, the system response will vary depending on the policy. For example, if a GPO is going to deploy software and the connection is considered slow, the software may not be installed on the client. If you configure this option as 0, all connections are considered fast connections. Publishing and assigning applications. As mentioned earlier in this section, system administrators can make software packages available to users by publishing and assigning operations. Both of these operations allow system administrators to leverage the power of Active Directory and specifically GPOs to determine which applications are available to users. Additionally, OUs can provide the organization that can help group users based on their job functions and software requirements. The general process involved creating a GPO that includes software deployment settings for users and computers, and then linking this GPO to Active Directory objects. Exercise 6.8 walks you through the steps required to publish and assign applications. In this exercise, you will create applications and assign them to specific Active Directory objects using GPOs. Exercise 6.8, publishing and assigning applications using group policy. 1. Open the Active Directory users and computers tool from the Administrative Tools program group. 2. Expand the domain and create a new top-level OU called software. 3. Within the software OU, create a username Jane user with a login name as JUser. Choose the defaults for all other options. 4. Exit Active Directory users and computers and open the Group Policy Management Console. 5. Right-click Software OU and choose Create a GPO in this domain and link it here. 6. For the name of new GPO, type software deployment. 7. To edit the software deployment GPO, right-click it and choose Edit. Expand the Computer Configuration Policies Software Settings object. 8. Right-click the software installation item and select New Package. 9. navigate to the software share you created in exercise 6.7. 10. Within the software share, double-click the Office 2013 folder and select the appropriate MSI file, depending on the version of Office 2013 you have. Office 2013 Professional is being used in this example, so you'll see the Office MUI.MSI file is chosen. Click OK. 11. In the Deploy Software dialog box, choose Advanced. Note that the Published option is unavailable because applications cannot be published to computers. Click OK to return to the Deploy Software dialog box. 12. To examine the deployment options of this package, click the Deployment tab. Accept the default settings by clicking OK. 13. Within the Group Policy Object Editor, expand User Configuration Software Settings Object. 14. Right-click the Software Installation item and select New Package. 15. Navigate to the software share you created in exercise 6.7. 16. Within the software share, double-click the Office 2013 folder and select the appropriate MSI file. Click Open. 17. For the software deployment option, select Published in the Deploy Software dialog box. Click OK. 18. Close the GPMC. Applying software updates. The steps described in the previous section work only when you are installing a new application. However, software companies often release updates that you need to install on top of existing applications. These updates usually consist of bug fixes or other changes that are required to keep the software up to date. You can apply software updates in Active Directory by using the Upgrades tab of the Software Packages Properties dialog box found in the Group Policy Object Editor. In exercise 6.9, you will apply a software update to an existing application. You should add the upgrade package to the GPO in the same way you added the original application in steps 8 through 12 of exercise 6.8. Exercise 6.9. Applying software updates. 1. Open the Group Policy Management Console from the Administrative Tools Program Group. 2. Click the Software OU, right-click the Software Deployment GPO and choose Edit. 3. Expand the Computer Configuration Policy, Software Settings, Software Installation Object. 4. Right-click the software packages and select Properties from the context menu to bring up the Properties dialog box. 5. Select the Upgrades tab and click the Add button. 6. Click the current Group Policy Object GPO radio button in the Choose a Package From section of the dialog box, or click the Browse button to select the GPO to which you want to apply the upgrade. Consult your application's documentation to see whether you should choose the uninstall the existing package, then install the upgrade package radio button, or the package can upgrade over the existing package radio button. 7. Click Cancel and close the Add Upgrade Package dialog box. 8. Click Cancel and exit the GPMC. You should understand that not all upgrades make sense in all situations. For instance, if the Panavia 2010 files are incompatible with the Panavia 2013 application, then your Panavia 2010 users might not want to perform the upgrade without taking additional steps to ensure that they can continue to use their files. In addition, users might have some choice about which version they use when it doesn't affect the support of the network. Regardless of the underlying reason for allowing this flexibility. You should be aware that there are two basic types of upgrades that are available for administrators to provide to users. Mandatory upgrade forces everyone who currently has an existing version of the program to upgrade according to the GPO. Users who have never installed the program for whatever reason will be able to install only the new upgraded version. Non-mandatory upgrade allows users to choose whether they would like to upgrade. This upgrade type also allow users who do not have their application installed to choose which version they would like to use. Verifying software installation. To ensure that the software installation settings you make in the GPO have taken place, you can log into the domain from a Windows 8, Windows 7, or Windows Vista computer that is within the OU to which the software settings apply. When you log in, you will notice two changes. First, the application is installed on the computer if it was not installed already. To access the application, a user needs to click one of the icons within the program group on the start menu. Note also that applications are available to any of the users who log on to this machine. Second, the settings apply to any computers that are contained within the OU and to any users who log on to these computers. If you publish an application to users, the change may not be evident, but it is equally useful. When you log on to a Windows 8, Windows 7, or Windows Vista computer that is a member of the domain, and when you use a user account from the OU where you publish the application, you will be able to install any of the published applications automatically. On a Windows 8 or Windows 7 computer, you can do this by accessing the programs icon in Control Panel by clicking Add New Programs. You can access a display of the applications available for installation by clicking the Add button in the Add New Program section of the Programs dialog box. You will automatically begin the installation of the published applications. Configuring automatic updates and group policies. So far, you've seen the advantages of deploying application software in a group policy. Group policies also provide a way to install operating system updates across the network for Windows 2000 XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows Server 2003, Windows Server 2008, Windows Server 2008 R2, Windows Server 2012, and Windows Server 2012 R2 machines using Windows Update in conjunction with Windows Server Update Service. WSUS is a new version of SUS, and it is used on a Windows Server 2012 R2 system to update systems. As you may remember, WSUS and SUS are patch management tools that help you deploy updates to your systems in a controlled manner. Windows Updates is available through the Microsoft website, and it is used to provide the most current files for Windows operating systems. Examples of updates include security fixes, critical updates, update help files, and updated drivers. You can access Windows Update by clicking the Windows Update icon in the system tray. WSUS is used to leverage the features of Windows Update within a corporate environment by downloading Windows Update to a corporate server, which in turn provides the updates to the internal corporate clients. This allows administrators to test and have full control over what updates are deployed within the corporate environment. Within an enterprise network that is using Active Directory, you would typically see automatic updates configured through group policy. Group policies are used to manage configuration and security settings via Active Directory. Group policy is also used to specify what server a client will use for automatic updates. If the WSUS client were part of an enterprise network that is using Active Directory, you would configure the client via group policy. Configuring software deployment settings. In addition to the basic operations of assigning and publishing applications, you can use several other options to specify the details of how software is deployed. In the following sections, you will examine the various options that are available and their effects on the software installation process. The software installation properties dialog box. The most important software deployment settings are contained in the software installation properties dialog box. You can access by right-clicking the software installation item and selecting properties from the context menu. The following sections describe the features contained on the various tabs of the dialog box. Managing package defaults. On the deployment tab of the software installation properties dialog box, you will be able to specify some defaults for any packages that you create within this GPO. Figure 6.10 shows the deployment options for managing software installation settings. Figure 6.10, deployment tab of the software installation properties dialog box. The following options are used for managing software installation settings. Default package location. This setting specifies the default file system or network location for software installation packages. This is useful if you're already using a specific share on a file server for hosting the necessary installation files, new packages. These settings specify the default type of package assignment that will be used when you add a new package to either the user or computer settings. If you'll be assigning or publishing multiple packages, you may find it useful to set a default here. Selecting the advanced option enables group policy to display the package's properties dialog box each time a new package is added. Installation user interface options. When installing an application, system administrators may or may not want end users to see all of the advanced installation options. If basic is chosen, the user will be able to configure only the minimal settings, such as the installation location. If maximum is chosen, all of the available installation options will be displayed. The specific installation options available will depend on the package itself. Uninstall applications. When they fall out of the scope of the management so far, you have seen how applications can be assigned and published to users or computers. But what happens when effective GPOs change? For example, support user A is currently located within the sales OU. A GPO that assigns the Microsoft Office 2013 suite of applications is linked to the sales OU. You decide to move user A to the engineering OU, which has no software deployment settings. Should the application be uninstalled or should it remain? Managing file extension mappings. One of the potential problems associated with using many different file types is that it's difficult to keep track of which applications work with which files. For example, if you received a file with the file name extension .abc, you would have no idea which application you would need to view it. Fortunately, through software deployment settings, system administrators can specify mappings for specific file name extensions. For example, you could specify that whenever users attempt to access a file with the extension .vsd, the operating system should attempt to open the file using Visio diagramming software. If Visio is not installed on the user's machine, the computer can automatically download and install it, assuming that the application has been properly advertised. This method allows users to have applications automatically installed when they're needed. The following is an example of a sequence of events that might occur. 1. A user receives an email message that contains PDF.pdf file attachment 2. The computer realizes that the PDF file does not have the appropriate viewing application for this type of file installed. However, it also realizes that a file name extension mapping is available within the Active Directory software deployment settings. 3. The client computer automatically requests the PDF software package from the server, and it uses the Microsoft Windows installer to install the application automatically. 4. The computer opens the attachment for the user. So I'm going to leave it here today for this video. If you like listening, please consider like, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you.